For this Thanksgiving Day Classic, the Chicago Bears against the Detroit Lions. A sellout crowd which is late arriving by necessity. Pretty well says it for each other, doesn't it?
Two classy young men.
Bob Thomas set to kick off for the Bears. Rick Kane and Ray Williams back deep for the Detroit Lions. That is Ray Williams with some room. Williams outside the 25 to about the 28, where the Lions will operate. Stopped by Al Harris, number 90 for Chicago.
And this is the NFC leading rushing team, 176 yards a game. Bolschweiler is the only player to be there all of the games this year for Monty Clark.
Burton Lawless, the ex-Cowboy, Fowler, Bollinger, Dieterich.
And Big Dave Hill, who caught 7 balls last week against Tampa Bay.
Danielson is the quarterback. Billy Sims and Dexter Bussey are the runners. Freddie Scott and Thompson, the wide receiver.
The Bears do a lot of fooling around. They give you a million different sets with that 51 defense of theirs.
Right now it's a 4-man front. Billy Sims barrels for about 5. The line of scrimmage then was the 28. Muckensturm stopped him. Let's look at the rest of the defense.
Hampton, who may be 270 right now. Osborne, Page, Hartenstein, all hitters. They play at the 5 a lot. They'll go from a 5 to a 3 into a 4, and they're very aggressive.
The linebackers, Muckensturm, who just made that tackle, Hicks and Campbell. Secondary, tough.
All hitters, Schmidt, Ellis, Pensick, and Doug Plank.
Billy Sims got 6 yards on his first carry, so it's 2nd and 4.
And he blowed, huh?
Danielson, the quarterback. Sims in motion, and Danielson's going in that direction. Got a blocker in front. About a yard shy of a first down. Gary Campbell, Tom Hicks brought him down.
The short passing game is what Monty Clark would like to make sure Danielson stays with. You can throw on the Bears a little bit, but they're pretty tough on it.
Gary Danielson really came into his own 3 years ago. A rather familiar name to Chicago people. He was a backup quarterback in 1975 in the World Football League in Chicago. Starts for Detroit.
He was hurt all last year, so he's brought him a long way back this season.
3rd and 1. Dexter Bussey, Billy Sims. Sims will have it with the extra effort. Muckensturm again, the tackler, with help from Osborne.
Boy, is he smooth at the line of scrimmage. He never rushes anything. Sims just glides, waits for the blocks, and then takes off. He has great lateral movement, though, coming off full speed. He's an incredible ball carrier. 210 pounds. It looks like he weighs about 170.
And quick. And I think one of the things that surprised everybody, including the Lions, is what a good pass receiver he is.
Soft hands. He has a bad left hand. That might be one of the reasons he does fumble a little bit. Like he fumbles a lot.
When you carry it that many times, you have to. A shot to Ray Williams. And a good throw from Danielson.
A quick slant, and they had the right read on it. They gave the fake to the dive back going through.
Lions alternating wide receivers. Williams, who just caught that pass, and Thompson. And now Rick Kane checks in.
Here's the bullet. Ball is thrown well. It's a good call. And they caught the linebackers and the Bears right on the line of scrimmage. Good call.
1st and 10, Detroit at the 46-yard line of Chicago. Rick Kane and Dexter Bussey behind Danielson. Looks like an automatic. And it worked like most automatics.
Bussey by Tom Hicks, the linebacker. Penetration, and they will gamble on defense, but they always make contact. Here it is now. Watch the left part of your screen. You'll see Hicks making his move. Like Sims might have missed the block. Should have picked him up. Now, that's the hardest thing to learn for a rookie back.
3-yard loss, make it 2nd and 13. Ball at the 49-yard line of Chicago. First possession for Detroit. Chicago hasn't had it yet. Billy Sims and Dexter Bussey now the running back tandem. Danielson with good time, throws high. Ray Williams is complete. Terry Schmidt, the Chicago defender, and what a good throw from Danielson.
And Schmidt thought he had the good angle on the deep sideline. This ball is really well thrown by Danielson. He's a straight drop back passer. He's not much of a scrambler. Gets a rush from Osborne and Hampton on that side. Look at this throw. Right on, both feet down. That's an excellent play.
And here's the catch again, the last part of that. Danielson, like Bradshaw and so many others, with his index finger over the end of the football as he throws.
Good velocity on that throw.
34 is the line of scrimmage. Detroit on the move early. Dexter Bussey, straight ahead. Bussey, another Lion first down, I believe.
And that time they ran a false trap. They pull the left guard. They pull Wallace like he's going. Watch the left guard now, right the left part of your screen. He will pull like he's going to go wide. They run right back in there. The center just turns Osborne out of there, and Hicks never had a chance. Good block by the tackle going through on him. That's Bollinger.
Right. Watch number 73 come into the picture and throw that key block.
Pull the guard. That'll keep Alan Page out of there. Tell you, he doesn't waste any time at the line of scrimmage, does he?
They're about an inch short of a first down, as the referee Fred Silva just indicated.
Bussey's the third leading ground gainer in Detroit history, and he moved from the tailback spot when Billy Sims came in and said, I'll play wherever you want me to play, but I do want to play.
Bussey's had some injury problems in recent years, but this year has been a vintage year, as you can see, averaging almost 5 yards a carry. Second and inches. They still need inches. That's going to be close again, as the line of scrimmage is at 25. And they need to get about to the 24.5. He might have lost yardage on that play.
Short yardage now, and the Bears act like that they belong on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Look at the penetration. Hampton's over there. There's Hicks again. The whole group came home.
From another view.
Same result. White on blue.
Good play by Hicks. Into the backfield quickly, and it's still third, but this time it's more inches. This is Billy Sims. He got it. Down to about the 22, stopped by Muckenstern. And that will be Detroit's fourth first down in this drive.
Good block on the outside by Dietrich, the rookie from North Carolina State, who's having to work on Hampton. He held that block a long time. Boy, Sims really reads blocking well, doesn't he? He had 7 200-yard rushing days in college at Oklahoma. 7 200s.
That was, of course, from that wishbone, and this is a little bit different. And the way he's been able to accommodate his style to this has been even more amazing. This is Billy Sims again. This is nothing for Billy. Gary Fensick was the first man up. Mike Hartenstein helped him.
Stopped by Fensick.
Very physical player from Penn State. Good pass rusher.
This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Detroit Lions and the National Football League is prohibited.
Danielson's thinking pass on second and a bunch.
Second and 11, in fact. In the Thanksgiving Day Classic at the Silverdome in Detroit. Danielson looking. Still looking. And there's really not much place to look, as everybody was covered. Al Harris, who they use on passing situations.
He brought everybody up on the line of scrimmage except the one safety man, and then he got double coverage from the underside. That's the play, a lot like that, the one that Danielson got his knee hurt on a year ago in preseason against Baltimore. They don't like to see him run with it.
This will be play number 12 coming up in this drive for Detroit. Horace King and Billy Sims now the two who will operate behind Danielson. Jesse Thompson is one of the wide receivers. Spondy Clark continues to send in plays by his wide receivers. Fred Scott is put out to the left. Jesse Thompson out to the right.
Billy Sims is a great pass receiver, too.
Penalty markers everywhere. Intended for the tight end, Hill. Nothing doing. Penalty markers down, however. Play started from the 22-yard line. 7:58 left in the first quarter. At the Silverdome, let's see what happens.
I think Detroit gets another offensive play. It's against the Bears for lining up off sides. They're getting as close to number 16 as possible. Too close.
Offside, third down.
51 is Bruce Herron. Again, in the event you joined us late, it is snowing outside. It has been since early morning here in Pontiac. But the dome is a dome. And in here, it's quite pleasant. and overthrows, intended for Billy Sims.
Pressure by Hampton on the outside, the big #1 draft choice out of Arkansas, and that one was unloaded early. Sims was open.
And we will look at the Lions' fine rookie kicker, Ed Murray from Tulane. Eric Hipple is the holder, and that's what he's done so far. From this distance, he's been very effective.
I'll tell you, he has a very live kick, too. That's not like some soccer style. This ball is really thumped and carries and gets up very quickly.
It'll be from 34 yards out to try to get the Lions on the scoreboard first. They've had the ball and kept it since the opening kickoff. Got it. Easily done. It looked easily. And Detroit Lion head coach Monty Clark has to like what transpired in that drive.
And Walter Payton still needs 1 yard. He hasn't been on the field yet.
That'll give him 1,000. Happy Thanksgiving from all of us at CBS Sports. The Bears and the Lions.
He doesn't get the kickoffs too deep, young Murray. He sometimes hangs it around the 10-yard line.
He's 5'10", 170.
Oh, he kicked this one.
This one is going to stay up there a while. That's Dave Williams at the 3 for Chicago. Williams breaks one tackle outside the 20 to about the 22, where they take over by Horace King.
And Walter Payton and his team comes on the field, right? Don't forget Vince Evans, the quarterback. He is fast. Here's the offensive line. The tackles are #1 draft choices. Albrecht and Lick, Sorey and Jackson, 2 of the biggest guards in the league, and they're good, and Neal at center.
Robin Earl is the tight end, and Bashnagel and Scott open at wide receiver. Evans, Harper, and Walter Payton, who should go over 1,000 yards with this carry. He would have done it last week if he had not been evicted from that game. Whoop. It's Evans. Look, with no place to go. Vince Evans going to throw on first down. John Mendenhall, the ex-New York Giant, made that tackle.
An ex-Green Bay Packer. He's found a new home here, and they're playing the 4. Purifori, he's also a former Green Bay Packer. Gay, who used to be a tight end out in college days and is now a defensive tackle. Mendenhall, and of course Bubba Baker, number 60.
The linebackers, Weaver, Fantetti in the middle, and Stan White.
Actually, Vaughn brought him in as soon as he was given the defense to work over.
The secondary is Smith and Hunter and the rest. It'll be 2nd and 15 as Vince Evans tried to throw on first down and couldn't get rid of it. Roland Harper and Walter Payton, and here's Payton. We got 2 or 3 as they knock him back, led by William Gay, but that should be enough for a Chicago first down. I beg your pardon, not a first down. Should be enough for Payton to go over that 1,000-yard mark. There he is.
They even took his shoe off that time. Very aggressive and good pursuit. Watch the right part of your screen now. Let's see. Gay gets hit very hard by Noah Jackson, rolls back out. Floyd Peters is teaching young Gay, and because he had no bad habits as a defensive lineman, he says the young man's picking it up very quickly.
It's Fantetti who led the defensive charge. Ball is at the 20, it's 3rd and 12, and Payton's over 1,000. Bashnagel comes in motion. Evans drops. Detroit has a blitz on. And it's successful. Wayne Smith was the first to arrive.
The 35th sack of the year for the Lions. And Bubba comes off, and there's a lot of hand touching. Here comes the blitz. They fake it with the safety man, but the outside corner from the right did come. Picked up by Walter Payton, but he came around the edge. Evans doesn't like the pocket a lot anyway.
Baker was there as well. Ray Williams back deep for Detroit. Bob Parsons will punt for Chicago. A high hanging good kick all the way back to the 41. Williams circling left. Still trying to circle left. Penalty marker down. 49-yard punt.
Face mask.
Right. Fisher is number 85 down on the coverage, and he's the one who violated that rule.
Williams has been averaging 10 yards of punt return. Fisher plays the blocker pretty well, but in this He slips inside of it now, tries to make it, and grabs him right by the horn.
And there is that violation. No question about that one. And here's Fred Silva.
Makes a good punt return out of it, doesn't it?
Good kick by Parsons, but that violation puts Detroit in Chicago territory. And again, let's listen to Fred Silva.
On the run back, number 85. Personal foul, face mask. First down.
The Bears are not the most penalized team in football. They had a dozen last week.
Danielson is 3 out of 4 so far. The Lions lead it 3-0. Line of scrimmage, the Chicago 42. 5:49 left in the first quarter. And Detroit 3, the Bears nothing. Silverdome in Pontiac. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire. Site of the Super Bowl, and CBS will bring it to you a year after this. What a great facility. Danielson gives to Dexter Bussey, who struggles for couple. Tom Hicks, the Bear tackler.
The Lions went 9 quarters without scoring a touchdown. They finally took care of that last week, but they have had some problems after that early start when they just blew the Rams out and then went on to win 3 more.
2nd and 8. There's Tom Hicks, doing such a superb job as the middle linebacker for the Bears. Doesn't get a lot of recognition, but deserves it. At the 40.
Going to put the ball up.
2nd and 8. Danielson puts Fred Scott in motion, and he dropped. Now he takes off. And Dan Hampton takes him down from behind.
Danielson has over 200 yards rushing, most on scrambles like this, but I think Monty Clark's heart jumps up every time he sees this has to happen. Notice everybody waiting. Alan Page didn't even penetrate, waiting for the break. Now he gets cut off, and here comes Hampton from behind.
That'll make it 3rd and 5 as Hampton goes out and Harris comes in. The 2 number 1s of a year ago for the Bears, alternating at defensive left end. Danielson lays it properly. Walter Scheid, the tackler. Horace King, the receiver. That's enough for a Lion first down.
Bears came with a late blitz that time from the offside. That time Detroit looked like they were darn near in the right play for the defense that was called. Well handled by Dieterich on the right side. Ball got there. It wasn't a smooth pass, but it was rather effective.
Detroit 3 out of 4 on first down conversions. On 3rd down conversions, 4 first downs. Line of scrimmage to 29. Lions leading already 3-0. Fake to Sims. Danielson with some time this time. Freddie Scott keeps his feet in bounds, and the Lions have another first down. Another excellent throw by Danielson.
Of course, Scott came in with 40 catches. He's averaging over 16 yards of reception. One of the great pickups was getting Freddie Scott. The good doctor, they call him. Well, this is a good-looking pattern. He knows where the sideline is. Look at the footwork.
And now they call it incomplete.
He only got 1 foot down. Good replay. Sandy Grossman picked it up, and he only got 1 of them down.
Worth another check.
You're right. The ball is thrown right on. Good coverage there. There's 1 foot down.
Yep, that's a good call, too.
8.5 C's out of bounds.
So it'll be 2nd down at the 29. And Danielson again drops. Bears on a blitz. Incomplete, down the middle. It's hard to tell who that was intended for.
The Purdue Boilermaker, huh? Purdue has turned out quarterbacks through the years, huh?
Oh, you think back to Bob Greasy, the one that's there now, Mark Herman, Dale Samuels. How many more?
I don't know. I was on their highlight film on most of those guys.
Lenny Dawson.
It's a few.
3rd down. 3:37 left first quarter at the Silverdome. 3 wide receivers. And the blitz is on. from Dan Hampton, who this time came from the right side. Instead of his customary left side, Alan Page was also in on that.
It's a 10th sack for the big Razorback. Let's see what happens. Alan Page made a lot of penetration quickly, too. Came right across the middle. I think that's Page's first sack in 3 games. He's gone 2 games without a sack, which is unusual.
The man who scored the only point so far is back to try it again. Murray this time. This is going to be 54 yards out.
He is 1 of 3 from over 50.
That's going to get there if it's straight. Just barely missed.
Pretty good 6th-round draft choice out of Tulane there, leading the NFC in scoring coming in.
That had every chance and just barely was shy. So the score remains the Detroit Lions 3, Chicago Bears nothing. The great Jim Brown.
Makes my leg ache a little bit. He's going to be Jack Whitaker's guest at halftime, huh?
In Jack's feature on the legends of the NFL.
He left a lot of guys in his wake. Yours truly a few times, but not often.
Yeah, I got a few of those bruises still, too. Vince Evans, the Bear quarterback. Harper and Payton. Roland Harper rolls out to about the 38-yard line. Stopped by Ken Fantetti.
Evans is a tremendous athlete. In his 10 starts as a Bear quarterback, young Evans has faced 9 division leaders. That's an awfully hard way to get experience, but he's beginning to try to set up in the pocket, and I'm not so sure I don't like him better when he's running around making your defense adjust.
Ricky Watts comes out wide to the right. James Scott split to the left. Peyton deep in the eye. And Walter, nobody does it better. Charlie Weaver stopped him. Peyton, who has those quick feet and strong legs and has great ability.
I was talking to some of the Eagles, and they prepare for him like a 250-pound running back. He does squats with the weights 500 pounds plus. He bench presses over 300, and he's only probably 2, 4, or 5 at his top weight. He is a remarkable running back.
You saw that graphic a minute ago. There are only 2 other people who have had those 5 years, Jim Taylor and O.J. Simpson. Franco Harris has the record of years over 1,000 consecutive years. Third down, they go to Harper, and he doesn't make it.
Big play by William Gay, the left tackle, number 79. Oh, he really reacts in there. He's another one of those that beefed himself up. Gay's at the top now. Watch the charge he gets. He straightens up Noah Jackson and gets in on the tackle. That is some kind of a defensive lineman's play there. Fantetti gets into it, too.
Give some credit to Mendenhall, too, who was underneath all that.
I'm telling you, he's strong and quick. Gay beefed himself up from 235 to 252 now, so he can play defense. Looks like he's learning.
Bob Parsons. His second punt of the game. Ray Williams back at about the 15-yard line for Detroit.
Parsons has had a great year punting, Patrick.
Oh, kick again. And the Bears will down it at the 2.
And that was in the playbook.
53-yard kick. So Detroit will take over again with 47 seconds left in the first quarter, and the Lions lead the Bears 3-0. Some punt by Parsons.
It came down Teflon coated. That's what the plastic balloon is up here. A 5-second hang time. You said it had a speaker on it when it came down, huh?
That's Chris Haynes who's down there to down it.
Well, that defense will jump on Danielson now. They'll really try to squeeze him.
They say that Haynes first touched it. Penalty marker down. Billy Sims looking for some place to go. That play operated in the beginning from the 7-yard line, where Haynes touched it. Tom Hicks
makes another tackle, huh? Hicks has been in on 5 tackles already. Now he's going to arbitrate a little bit. Now the lawyer gets in.
Discussing with the attorney, Alan Page, what it is we ought to do here.
The prosecution says, what a veteran Alan Page has been.
The contribution he's made to the Bears, and before that in Minnesota.
Illegal motion. Decline. Second down.
Second down from the 7.
Yeah, you either let all the backs go out and get into the pass flow or keep everybody in. There's Allen. Had 6, 7, make it 7 sacks now with the one he got earlier.
Sims again.
The Bears sort of strung the play out, and he ran out of sideline. He made a run against Atlanta last week where he cut up inside, and then in one move, Sims jumped 2 yards laterally and accepted the good block by Lawless and made his way into the end zone. He has got tremendous cutting ability, but right now the Bears are stringing it out to where there's nowhere for him to cut to.
They did play it well. Third down.
Muckenstern made that stop.
3rd and 3. 3rd and 4, perhaps. At the 14. Horace King is back there with Sims. This is Sims. Wrestled to the ground by Al Harris this time. And hurled back into the end zone, and the Lions will have the punt.
It isn't going to be a safety, but they sure did deposit Sims into there without much problem. Osborne also makes the big play on this.
Osborne and Harris, and Osborne limps off just a little bit. He had an injury problem last week. Skladany is the Lion punter.
They carried about $1 million worth of goods there. They got to be careful with that.
Walter Scheid back deep. Standing at midfield for the Bears. Skladany with his back to you right now. And that'll do it. The wind direction doesn't make any difference inside. But that's the end of the first quarter. Field goal by Murray. And Detroit leads the Bears 3-0.
The NFL on CBS.
Skladany will kick for Detroit. Walter Scheid back deep for Chicago. Back at midfield.
It's a good kicker out of Ohio State. He did have one block for a touchdown earlier in the year. See if they put heat on or try to get a good return.
Looks like they have heat in mind. Indeed they do. From the 45 is Walter Scheid, and the Bears will have good field position. Walter Scheid down inside the 25 to the 22. 39-yard kick. And a rip-off return by Walter Scheid.
The Bears had a -3 yards offensively in that first quarter. But big special plays like this can put them right back in the ball game. Keep in mind that of the 208 points scored against Detroit, 42 of those have been really when the offensive team was on the field or kicking it or a fumble run in and those kind of things. So you've got to use other ways maybe to get on the board against Detroit.
Walter Scheid, you just got to look at him. It'll be first down for the Bears at the Detroit 22-yard line. Everybody's still alive in the NFC Central Division as far as playoffs are concerned, or considerations at least. And there'll be some consideration right now. The Bears jumped.
Evans has been sacked twice.
By the way, we made a mistake a little bit earlier, which I'll tell you about after we get through with
Offense,
Silva's call.
65. Ball start. First down.
That's a remarkable stat for running back. We told you that Jim Brown would be featured on Jack Whitaker's Legends feature, but he's been replaced by another ex-football player.
The President of the United States.
Elect, Mr. Reagan, who used to be a sports announcer. And Jim Brown will be with us later. Vince Evans, still looking for someplace to go, and Evans, who, as Tom said a minute ago, is a fine athlete, has to tuck it under and run. Mendenhall, again, the tackler.
John Mendenhall is all over the place. He's found new life with a team that's perhaps going to win this division. Minnesota plays New Orleans on Sunday. That's going to have a lot to say about it. Oh, he puts it away fast. 205-pounder, 6'2", and he can run. He scored 5 touchdowns rushing already this year.
He ranks 3rd, as you saw, among the NFL quarterbacks in rushing, and he didn't start for a long time. Evans looking. Throwing. Headed for Scott. Penalty marker down. Scott was in the end zone.
Walter Payton was having a problem with the linebacker number 52 there, Stan White, and the flag was sort of thrown between them. Maybe Walter was pushing off, but it might have been White holding on.
Face mask.
Against Walter Payton, grabbed Stan White's face mask.
That's unusual.
Walter says, what do you have to do, right? Give me a break.
I was talking with him last night, asking about that controversial play against Atlanta last week. And he just flat says, I didn't fumble. And as you look at the tapes, it certainly doesn't look like he did either.
I think the wrong official made the call. I know Eddie Marion personally, and I would trust him with my wallet.
But he did not originally make the call.
That's right.
52, offense, unsportsmanlike conduct. Second down.
Dan Neal, the offensive center, is called for the penalty.
That's the 4th penalty, 40 yards on the Bears.
Ricky Watts checks in. Tells Evans Neil Armstrong's choice of plays.
Watts might be the fastest player on the Bears squad.
He goes right. James Scott comes left. Big tight end. Right up to the right. Robin Earl. Short fake the blitz again. Now they do stunt. Evans looks over the middle. Intended for Roland Harper.
That's the hard pass for the young quarterback. We know he can throw it 65, 70 yards without much effort. You have to take a little bit off on the shorter patterns, but he's learning. This ball's right in there. That's a cork. That's a strike.
He does throw the ball with a great deal of velocity. I guess that's the same as throwing it hard.
A hummer.
Defensive backs.
3 wide receivers. Nagel and Ricky Watts out to the right. Scott to the left. Lions again put on the pressure. Evans throw. Dave Williams makes the catch. But the Lions on top of everything on defense so far. Ray Oldham knocked him out of bounds.
What a catch by Williams. He had 6 catches last week. Good rush, good stunning there by Detroit. He really had to throw it in a hurry and sort of threw it sidearm a little bit, didn't he?
Bob Thomas is not being used at the moment. Bob Parsons is. Ray Williams goes back deep for Detroit.
Try to nail it in the corner again, I guess. Inside the 10 if possible.
Which he did so well the last time. Parsons punting and looking for that corner. This one might have slipped by, although that's going to be close. Touchback. They'll bring it back to the 20, where Detroit will take over. A very impressive defensive performance and exhibition by the Lions. They've been tough.
They are trying to get to the playoffs, and they want it badly.
The NFC Central Division standings, Detroit on top 7-5, Minnesota 6-6, Green Bay, a remarkable turnaround for them, 5-6-1, Tampa Bay 4-7-1, and the Chicago Bears 4-8, but everybody's still alive with a chance for the playoffs.
And the Bears have played everybody. They've played the best teams in football.
Here's Billy Sims. He does glide quickly, doesn't he?
He never hurries it either. He waits for the blocks, waits for the lineman, waits for Bussey to help him. He's never in a hurry, but he has that sudden burst of speed. And again, at 210 pounds, see, he waits for the block on the outside linebacker there. It's Muckenstern.
The block by Bussey, the tackle by Terry Schmidt.
Oh, this is beautiful to watch. Talk about fluidity.
1st and 10 for Detroit at the 31-yard line. They lead 3-0. motion. Danielson looking, finding no place, and finally he does find Dexter Buckley. Muckenstern was the defender closest to him. Danielson under heat again.
Bussey's a good receiver. He has 31 catches at this stage. That was a great scramble by Danielson. A couple of the big Bears were looking in the pocket for him and came up empty.
The games you'll see on CBS on Sunday: St. Louis, New York, Washington at Atlanta, Minnesota, New Orleans, Tampa Bay, Green Bay, a big Central Division matchup, and Philadelphia at San Diego.
Wow.
Pretty good matchup.
Say.
2nd and 10.
Fouts against Jaworski, huh?
Two of the best. Danielson to Sims. Out to about the 35. Alan Page took him down.
Good inside runner. Sims took it back inside. He doesn't try to break every play, but he can break a play like that. One missed tackle. If somebody hits him with a fingernail instead of a shoulder pad, he can break them all the way. He's had 5 big games rushing already at 170-something against the Rams on opening day, didn't he?
It'll be 3rd and 6. Sims 9 carries, 25 yards. They've shut him down pretty well so far. He is back in the backfield now with Horace King as Bussey comes out. Danielson backpedals. King was the intended receiver, couldn't find a handle, and Skladany comes back to do his act again.
He ran the swing fan and was open between the outside man and the inside linebacker, and Danielson must wonder what he's got to do to get a catch.
Bears played good defense and have all year. It's been a frustrating year for them. Walter Scheid back deep. Skladany will punt.
Walter Scheid back to the Bears.
Looks like they're going to send some Bears.
Scheid. Hit immediately. As soon as he cuts the 35-yard punt. Calicut. Ken, who is always the leader on the special teams for Detroit.
Some tackle, huh?
He was there in a hurry. This game was a sellout. But you would have figured with the weather conditions like they were earlier this morning, a lot of people might have stayed home.
A lot of slipping and sliding. 40,000. It looks like everybody, all 80 have shown up now almost.
Not many people absent at the Silverdome in Pontiac. The Bears operating with the football still don't have a first down. Evans. Now they do. Robin Earl in Detroit territory to the 45. Jimmy Allen made the tackle. A good throw by Evans. 25-yard pickup.
The 12th catch of the year for the converted fullback. Remember, he worked all spring trying to convert. They told him, if you're going to play for us, it's the tight end spot, which has been a problem for Chicago. And he's carrying about 240 and has made the adjustment very well. They tell me he blocks, too.
Like an extra tackle. Who can also catch it and run with it.
It's first completion, too, huh?
The first down for the Bears. At the 45, this is Payton. Walter down to about the 41, stopped by William Gay again.
Maxie Bond took over this defensive club. The first thing he did was get Stan White, who helps him make the game plan up. But they've allowed only 8 TDs rushing and only 10 against the pass. And except for Philadelphia and a couple of other people, that's about as good as you can play the defense, isn't it?
It'll be 2nd and 7. They have done an excellent job on defense. Bashnagel checked in with the play. Payton. You just get the feeling every time either Payton or Sims carry the ball that they might break it. Weaver. Make sure he doesn't break this one.
Averaged 94 yards a game for those first 5 seasons, Walter Payton, and he's still averaging right at that. Well, they really are reacting on defense. That's good tackling.
Call it 3rd and 6. 275 yards in one game, did Walter Payton. The 3 Bear wide receivers all in the game. Bashnagel joins Scott. And Evans goes down. the football. Al Baker.
And the sack is going to count. The official, Evans is going to get up slow, but Bubba Baker had him.
That is the third sack of the day for Detroit. Watch Baker, number 60.
Bottom of your screen, he's a young man that came from Colorado State.
Ladies and gentlemen,
He goes right over Albrecht and right into the quarterback. Now, right now, the whistle has been blown, and it is a dead ball.
In the grass. And the man who's down is Albrecht. That may be why Baker was able to get so free.
These big tackles have stayed pretty injury-free, too. He and Dennis Lick. Again, that's a very hard surface down there, Patrick.
I know.
It's like a rock.
Detroit 3, Chicago nothing. Second quarter, 9:59 left. Here's Baker against Albrecht.
6'6" and 250, and Bubba Baker gets his 12th sack. Watch Albrecht's knee come right down in that hard lion area there. That's how he probably did it, because it is very firm down there. Some play by Baker.
Albrecht encouragingly did get up and walk off under his own power. Ray Williams back at the 10-yard line for Detroit. Bob Parsons should punt for Chicago. He's had a good game so far. This one, somewhat of a shank. It takes a bare bounce.
Detroit defense now has 3 sacks for a minus 28 yards. That's almost an offense.
At the half again, Vin Scully will visit with the president-elect, Ronald Reagan.
I think Vince and the president are neighbors, were right before he makes the move to the White House.
He has some very interesting things to say, I understand, about his days as a sports announcer back in Iowa. Monty Clark is a fine offensive tackle during his playing days, worked under Don Shula. That's Dexter Bussey out to the 30-yard line. Gary Fensick finally made the tackle, but Bussey for about 15.
And as you saw earlier, he's averaging right at 5 yards a shot. He's not big, probably about 197 pounds. A 7-year veteran. Darn, he breaks a couple of tackles here, and he gets a good block downfield. I believe that was Scott or somebody that made it from the outside. That's Sims, I believe, that made the good block and cut down the cornerback. They said that's the hardest thing that Sims has had to adjust to, is picking up the blitzes and blocking, because he didn't have to do that at Oklahoma.
18-yard pickup by Bussey on that last play, and a loss this time for Sims on this play. Dan Hampton and Tom Hicks led the Bear defense. Sims never made it back to the line of scrimmage.
176 yards rushing this team averages. Number 1 in the NFC, pushing that football, huh?
Chet Albrecht. It was his ankle that was injured, obviously.
This looks like he's trying to come back there, strapping it up, huh?
Billy Sims again behind Burton Wallace. And again, the Bears shut it down, led by Muckenstern.
And strung it out. Everybody stayed on their feet, grabbed their blockers, and got them under control, and Sims just ends up on the side of his shoes.
Wallace pulling, number 68.
Here it is from behind the quarterback. He's out in front. Notice how the white shirts now get everything under control. Stay up if you can. Good defense.
So it'll be third down now, and 9 for Detroit. Still 3-0, but 7.5 minutes left to play in the first half. Billy Sims and Horace King this time. Danielson drops. Fires. Ray Williams has a Detroit first down across midfield. And they'll move the sticks for Detroit. Fencing and Plank back on the tackle, but a good throw from Danielson.
Good-looking move. They sent the big tight end, Dave Hill, out of the left formation. He cleared out a little bit. He's under. This thing really opens up. The linebackers went up to take the short receivers, and there was a pretty good area for the young man Williams to work in.
Plank, the first tackler. With 30, of course, Ray Williams. Gary Fensick also involved. It's It's a first down, Detroit, at the 47-yard line of Chicago. Screen pass coming to Billy Sims. All he needs is a little bit. He's got more than a little bit. Sims, touchdown.
He's looking for flags, but there aren't any.
A great block by Amos Fowler. The offensive center set up the whole thing.
That is his third touchdown receiving the football. And even though it was a run, it'll count as a pass reception. But is he something to watch? He looked like he was on a motorcycle, in and out and straight ahead. Watch this, the back under control. They say these people only come along about every 5 or 6 years. The O.J. Simpsons, the Jim Browns and Jim Taylors, Earl Campbell's, the ones that can turn a franchise around with plays like this. Look at him use the blocking. And now he decides he'll go right for the tape. You'll never get him now.
And that was Fowler, the offensive center, who threw that last block. There were a lot of good ones. Billy Sims did a lot on his own. 65 is Fowler.
Watch the last part of this play. Some good blocks. Oh, here's a good block. Takes advantage of everything, and he's moving. He's about a 4-5 man in the 40, under control.
And stepping high.
And crossing him over.
Move.
That's a hard one.
Like the one of the Rockettes.
The Billy Sims review.
Get him in Radio City with that step. Murray for the extra point with Hipple holding. 10-0. Detroit. The Lions smelling playoffs. Playing good defense and riding the flaming heels of Billy Sims. They lead 10-0. There's Billy Sims, who just made that spectacular run.
He had some eel boots on that were just out of sight. Wish you could have seen them.
Nice hat, too. The violation on the extra point means that Murray is kicking off from the 40 instead of the 35. And if they're smart, they won't bring that one out.
The Bears have 20 yards of total offense. Detroit now has 157 and 10 points.
Offensive unit. Quarterback by Vince Evans with Walter Payton and Roland Harper have not been able to get untracked at all. 6:29 left in the first half, and it's Detroit 10. Chicago nothing. In Thanksgiving Day games, by the way, I think there's a common conception around the country that the Lions have always dominated on Thanksgiving Day, but the overall record since this series began is 19-19-2.
Very close. Dan Jiggins is in at left tackle, so Albrecht is not coming back right now.
Evans fires high. Penalty marker goes down. Intended for James Scott. Wayne Smith was the defender.
He's the rookie out of Purdue, an 11th round draft choice. Looked like he made a pretty good play, but you can't touch him anymore. You even talk harshly to a receiver, you might get the flag. Here's the throw. It's high.
Number 44. First down.
He might even get thrown out.
Pretty good defensive play. There's very little more he could have done on this play, was to go as high as the receiver and try to get it at the height. He's a good-looking young quarterback, though. And as a rookie, you've got to be instinctive and just react.
That's the first penalty against Detroit. Bears have that automatic first down. Evans again going to throw if he has something. He just barely does. Boy, Detroit's putting on some heat. They are really making it a hard, long Thanksgiving Day for Vince Evans.
John Mendenhall just jumped up and came right up the middle. Let's see what happens. They ran an over defense. Gay, number 79, was over the center. They came from all sides. Everybody was in there.
That's frightening.
Where did everybody go?
Where did they come from?
Here comes Mendenhall. He's already sorry. Purifoy was there too, huh?
Right. Purifoy was the man around the outside. Gay, Mendenhall, Baker.
Smell of division championship, perhaps.
Big game for both teams. It's 10-0 Detroit. The Lions fake a blitz. Evans quickly looks out for James Scott. Nowhere near James Hunter, the cornerback on that side. On that side, watch him.
Here he comes, Jimmy Allen. Used to be with the Steelers. He gets handled, but he put the heat on that he wanted to do. He applied it.
Jimmy Allen.
It'll be 3rd and 10. Baker, who's had an excellent game so far, limps off to the sideline.
3rd down.
Replaced by, let's see, just a second.
That's 6 defensive backs in there, I think.
So it'll be what appears to be a 3-man rush. Number 79, William Gay, moves out to the outside. Here come the Lions again. The all-out blitz. Evans goes up top. Had a receiver. No flags this time. Ricky Watts, the intended receiver. And there is Vince Evans.
Looks like this time the young quarterback is going to stay there for a minute. That time Ricky Watts tried to fall down to draw the interference call, but there wasn't any interference. So watch this. There were 6 defensive backs in the game, but they sent 2 of them. There's one of them. That's Ray Oldham, the safety man who came. Really hit him on that hip, didn't he?
And as you pointed out before, that playing surface is very hard. There comes Oldham. And Evans with his arms still in the air. Watts and Vashnagel down deep for the Bears.
He could get an after card with that one. Pretty good acting job.
Walt Williams was the defender back there with him.
Evans is a good athlete. Remember, he recovered last year. He almost lost his life with the staphylococcus infection.
So it'll be 4th and 10 for the Bears at their own 38. There's the rush.
Must look like the surf at Maui. Ooh, a little bit of contact.
And no penalty. Bob Parsons back deep for the Bears, who offensively haven't been able to get anything on track. Ray Williams standing back at about the 18 for Detroit. 6:08 left in the first half. Detroit 10, Chicago nothing. Good kick this time by Parsons. Chases him all the way back to the 7-yard line. Look out. And right back in their territory. Ray Williams.
What a rookie draft choice that is.
Wow.
And he broke a tackle coming out with it. Again, some of the better ones that do this, Jimmy Jones with Dallas and all, they run straight at somebody and crease it. He's got good acceleration.
Skabinski finally knocked him out of bounds. A 48-yard punt return by Ray Williams, and Detroit right back in business again. Danielson asking for a little quiet. His team already on top, 10-0. Billy Sims swings left. Penalty marker down as Sims goes for about 7. Gary Fensick on the tackle. Monty Clark looking on. What a job he's done in turning this thing around.
About 4 on the floor and a 5th under the seat. Does he glide? Billy Sims is never in a hurry. Here's the coach from Tishomingo, Oklahoma.
Neil Armstrong was a great player.
Officials, by the way, are doing an outstanding job, aren't they?
Fred Silva.
Offensive holding, number 81. First down.
81 is the tight end, David Hill.
Here's Sims. Now watch him just wait. He's in no hurry because he can turn on the juice. Boy, he just makes Hartenstein miss him with get nothing with the tackle, huh?
I think that's one of the things that makes him so effective. He doesn't look like he's in a hurry, but he is. Here's Dexter Bussey. Near midfield, knocked out of bounds by Hampton and Fensick.
Remember Freddie Hoagland in this offensive line. They've had 11 different starting offensive lines. They've had 4 different centers. They've had rookies playing tackle, like Dieterich is right now. And somehow, Monty and Fred Hoagland have really got themselves a good offensive unit.
When you think about all those changes and the fact that they are still, and have been from the beginning of the year, the leading rushing team in the NFL, with all those injuries, that is some tribute to Monty Clark.
Picked up Lawless, who had gone home not to play anymore. Former Cowboy, huh?
Right. Danielson hits Doug Plank in the back with that attempted pass to Fred Scott. So nothing doing there.
Again, the Bears try to intimidate people that come into the secondary. Sometimes they're so busy hitting people that they don't look for the ball. They don't have many interceptions back there.
Allen Ellis was the other defender. There is Baker. Not sure whether he's going to be able to return or not today. He has a strained knee. And they'll look, check if they have. 5:35 left in the first half.
Danielson is 6 of 12 for 107 yards and a touchdown by Sims.
Horace King and Billy Sims both come out of the backfield. Danielson fires the ball to Hill. What a catch. Hill spinning backwards. Stopped by Bruce Herron.
Number 30 for Hill. And notice how the offensive blocking picks up the stunning Bears. The Bears stunt this time. Tackles go outside, defensive ends comes inside, and Danielson stayed right in the pocket. That's a great grab by Hill. Wow.
About 2 feet shy of a first down. And Monty Clark encouraging Detroit fans, saying, let's go for it. That's what they're going to do. Fourth, about 2 feet. Are Bussey and Sims. If you pop one here, you could go. Sims has the first down to the 32-yard line. Gary Finsick, the safety man, made the tackle.
Straight ahead. Well, they back Hartenstein right off the line of scrimmage. But you're right. If you can pop through against short yardage, there's a pretty thin line there in front of you, and everybody's spread out. Tries to go over the top. He thinks, I'm all still on my feet. I might as well go ahead and get some more. Finsick's good tackling.
If he doesn't make it, they'd be kicking the extra point right now. First and 10 at the 31. Scott in motion. Danielson going right away. Looking for Ray Williams. Almost picked off by Terry Schmidt. Incomplete.
Schmidt is the place where a lot of people have been throwing the football, but he came in as one of the better defenders. He's really worked on it. He almost has the interception. Has the play completely covered. He's got to get up and see where the ball is now. Manages to put a hand out. Darner went right on through, didn't it?
Ray Williams got up a little slowly and limped back to the Detroit bench. He's been replaced by Jesse Thompson. Don't forget that interview at the half. Vin Scully visits with the president-elect. That's Bussey. Walterscheid made the tackle, but Bussey got 6 from nothing.
They're running at Alan Page a little bit and Hartenstein over there. Page, again, always plays at somewhere around 220 or so, and while he's extremely quick, if you run straight at him, at least you know where he is some of the time.
Thompson comes out. Horace King goes in with Ray Williams, who evidently wasn't seriously injured. It'll be third down. About 4.5. Line of scrimmage, the Bear 26. Danielson drops. Has to scramble away from Hampton. Is looking and still looking, and Danielson will have the first down. Inside the 20. Finsick made the tackle, and Danielson scrambles, does that one on his own.
And that's what nobody says he can do. He put it away and really got a shot when he finally hit the deck. Big pass rush this time by the Bears, and they're a load up there. They're getting away with some head slaps and what have you.
Osborne, 68, the Bears.
Boy,
was chasing.
Danielson's learning from Sims.
Safe with the first down. 2.5 minutes left in the first half. Lions lead 10-0. Dexter Bussey, behind a good offensive surge, gets down to about the 15. Hicks on the tackle.
Danielson with 10 touchdown passes. He's cut down the interception ratio. He only has 8.
Already strolling over to the sideline for the 2-minute notification, which will be given to Neil Armstrong and Monty Clark.
And you know, this team only won 2 games a year ago, and one of them was beating the Bears right here.
On Thanksgiving Day. They lead 10-0 right now. Detroit does. You wouldn't think those two like each other, would you?
Hey, I'm going to buy Gary a watch and a shaver for Christmas.
Why would you buy him a watch?
Well, it looked like a quarterback should know what the 30-second clock is doing all the time.
That's true.
By the way, the offensive backfield coach is Joe Bruner, and of course his son Scott is the quarterback for the New York Giants.
Right.
Runs in the family, huh?
Detroit, with 2 minutes to go in the first half, leads Chicago 10-0. There have been no turnovers in this game so far, and few penalties.
What a thrill to see Billy Sims for the first time.
It'll be 2nd and 6 at the 15. The Lions on the move, and they have controlled the first half. Danielson backpedals, penalty markers go down. Hill has the touchdown pass, but the whole thing will be brought back.
Bears came off sides. They were in such a hurry to get at Danielson. No illegal procedure against Detroit. They came on the move by the offense. Looked like that was a total wipeout blitz that time.
Offense 65. False start. 2nd down.
Amos Fowler, the center.
Trying to get the Bears off the ball so he could snap it.
Bears had a blitz coming. They had Walter Scheid, the extra defensive back, in there. Now it's the regular defensive setup for Chicago.
This is that 50 defense of theirs.
Here comes the rush. Danielson hangs in there. Throws. Terry Schmidt, the defender.
Played the corner pattern extremely well, and of course the blitz situation, you're out there all by yourself.
Danielson's pass intended for Ray
It
Williams.
was intended for Ray Williams. 1:49 remaining in the first half. 10-0 Detroit. They have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. So do the Bears.
Pretty good offensive game plan, too. Looks like Danielson is very comfortable with what he's trying to execute. No matter what this bunch of characters seem to do about it.
Danielson has a little bit of an unusual throwing motion, a little bit like Sonny Jurgensen, who's doing the game, by the way, for CBS Radio.
That's good.
Yeah, that's hard to beat. That's Dan Hampton that tripped him up, followed by Harris.
That's Hampton's 10.5 sacks that he's had this year. He is some kind of a load. I was talking to the Detroit players before the game, and Page makes the big move that chases him out of the pocket. They say Hampton might be weighing about 280 instead of that 260 that's on the roster, but I can't believe the Bears would fool around with the weights, would you?
No, but I know he gets 2 seats on the bus.
Right next to the driver, huh?
Ed Murray.
Murray with Hipple holding. This will be 41 yards out. He has hit one already.
And barely missed a 50-some-odd yarder.
Oh, block. Walter Scheid had a chance at it. Now it's Hipple who has it. And down he goes. 4th down, doesn't matter. The Bears will take over. Alan Page blocked the field goal attempt by Murray.
And Jonathan Hoke, number 47, was also in there. Page has blocked 2 field goals already this year. See if he comes right up the slot. I don't know how Alan Page does it, but he has made a living out of blocking people's kicks. Watch this now from behind the Bears. Watch 82. It's timing. He had some other hands up in there, too. That is some athletic endeavor, isn't it? Lawyer, most MVP once in the league as a lineman.
Shot blocker. Dave Williams and Walter Payton. Vince Evans back at quarterback. Evans throws. Intended for James Scott, knocked down at the last second by James Hunter. Good defensive play there.
Well, Jimmy Hunter is the #1 draft pick a few years ago out of Grambling. He makes a pass on this ball, and he would have gone right down the sidelines. I don't think there was anybody else there. Clapped his hands together like, boy, another half step and I had one.
Danielson over on the sideline. Evans, by the way, is 2 out of 7 for 28 yards for the Bears. The big completion, in fact, one of the two went to Robin Earl. But Detroit's defense has controlled the situation so far. Baker is back in the game, by the way. This is Dave Williams looking and not finding any place to go. Ray Oldham beginning on the tackle.
The nickel defense by Detroit that time, both backs were out. This was sort of a trailer. Put one back out in the left flat and then came with the other one. And looks to me like Detroit's ready for almost anything the Bears can throw at them.
Bears still have 3 timeouts remaining. 3rd down. They haven't called one yet. Evans looking for someplace to go. He'll have some room. Still on his feet is Evans. It's enough for a 1st down, and now they'll burn a timeout.
He didn't want to run, though. You could see that #8 was trying to find somebody to give it to. He had to leave the game limping after one of those sacks earlier.
Neil Armstrong over on the sideline wearing the headset, discussing things with his coaches upstairs.
That's Spitz, I think, to the left there, isn't it?
Number 15, right.
He's been helping his replacement a lot.
So has Bob Avellini, the 3rd Bear quarterback. There's Mike Phipps. Started the game a year ago here, got a broken nose in that game. Avellini replaced him, but that's the last time Avellini's played.
There's competition, but no animosity. Vince Evans is very high on everything that Phipps does with him and for him.
7 is Avellini.
I'm really impressed with the organization on the Detroit team, both ways, offense and defense. They really look like they're prepared.
Well, I guess if you worked for Don Shula, as Monty Clark did for so many years, you know how to get things organized.
He put together that offensive line of those great Super Bowl teams when the Dolphins were blowing everybody out.
Ryan Bashnagel, James Scott, Ricky Watts, all in the game for Chicago. Detroit again fakes the blitz, and it's not a fake. Evans fires down the middle to Scott. Jimmy Allen, the tackler. That ought to be enough for another Chicago 1st down.
Some throw. Evans stayed in the pocket that time, and there wasn't a lot of a pocket. They came around the edges. They were stunning. They got the nickel defense. Extra backs are in there now, and they're dropping. Comes Gay up the middle. Watch this throw. That is a strike.
11 yards, 1st down. The Bears call another timeout. So they have 1 left. And they're sneaking up on field goal range for Bob Thomas.
Vince is now 4 of 9 for 44. He has to work for every one of them. Bone on the headset, right, standing in the shadow of Big Monty, who is quite a moose in his own right, isn't he?
I'll say he is. Bears have 1 more timeout. By the way, you'll be seeing back in our New York studio, Brent Phillips, Jimmy DeGreek at halftime. And again, that feature we talked to you about several times before, the interview, Ben Scully and President-elect Ronald Reagan.
I wonder if the president's watching today. You suppose he is?
I imagine. Penalty marker goes down. That'll stop the clock for the Bears. Evans fires, got a man open. James Scott. Scott out of bounds wisely at about the 7-yard line.
Scott turned Jimmy Hunter all the way around. Now, the flag came early. I thought I saw a couple of head slaps by the defensive linemen, but these officials are more trained for things certainly than my old eyes.
A 29-yard pickup will give the Bears another first down at about the 6-yard line. And time for a field goal if that's what they choose to do.
Bubba Baker was in some kind of a wrestling match with Jiggets. Telling you, Scott was so open it was hard to believe. Here comes Hunter just now getting in the frame.
Scott struggling to get out of bounds. Stop that clock with 3 seconds to go. Bob Thomas does come on. Brian Bashnagel is the holder for Thomas.
He's 5 for 5 from this distance in.
This is going to be 24 yards out. And should be not too much of a problem for Bob Thomas. Got it. And the Bears in the closing seconds. In fact, no time left in the first half now. Get on the scoreboard. And the Lions 10. The Bears 3.
There's Red McSpaden up there, huh? Zeroing in on... By the way, that was some drive the Bears just came up with. They had absolutely no offense for most of the first half till that last minute and a half.
You look back at the way Detroit really has dominated this first half, but yet the Bears are still very much in the contest. It's the Detroit Lions 10, the Bears 3.
Big Monty's got Sims going for him, and Armstrong has a fellow named Payton who is waiting to explode.
And you know that's going to happen at some time before this game is over. So that's the halftime score, 10-3. Well, let's get back and see if they can.
Okay.
And find out what's going on in the second half.
That was some interview with the president, wasn't it?
Enjoyed that. Murray will kick off. And back deep for Chicago. I believe that's Dave Williams. Williams looking for someplace to go. Outside the 25 to about the 28. Stopped by Eddie Cole. The halftime stats, we touched on them briefly. Offensive plays, Detroit 45 to 27. They had 10 more minutes plus if they had the football.
They had 3 sacks. Detroit had 2 sacks. Evans was 5 of 10 for 73, most in that final drive. Danielson was 7 of 15 for 121. And of course the one touchdown to flying Billy Sims.
Lion player down on the opening kickoff of half number 2 on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. We hope it's been a great day for you.
Car must be moved immediately. White Cadillac and lot change.
It is 10-3. The Lions lead the Bears. We'll be back. Ken Callicutt, the third-year man from Clemson, is the injured Lion. Looked like he took a blow in his back from one of his own men.
Pat, his job is to go down and force the return man not to come straight up behind the wedge. You'll see maybe the left part of your screen. Watch Rideout sort of hit him, and one of his own men seemed to flop in behind him there, too. Left center of your screen.
Dave Williams, the Bear returner. There's Callicutt.
His job is penetration on the kickoffs, and that is about the most dangerous thing in football, I think, is going down under a kickoff.
And he does it as well as anybody in football. Evans, 5-10, 73 yards first half. Danielson, 7 out of 15, 121 yards first half.
Albrecht, by the way, has not come back. Jiggets has been at left tackle since he sprained that ankle or foot. We'll try to find out what.
Bashnagel and Scott. Bashnagel goes into the motion. Here's Walter Payton. And for the first time with a little bit of operating room, he gets about 8.
His 5th carry of the day. He bounced up rather quickly, not worrying about a fumble, I guess. Jimmy Hunter made the tackle.
Stopped by Hunter.
190 some odd 10-yard runs and over in 5-point-something seasons.
Got our own turkey here. Noah Jackson, one of those fine offensive guards for Chicago, is the injured Bear.
Bill Berge told me that he and Reeve Sorey were the darndest book-in guards, that they constantly stay on their feet, keep battling. Yet Noah's going to leave for a while. He'll be back.
He'll be replaced by Rocco Moore. That's Callicutt over on the sideline. They're checking him out. His right knee seems to be the problem. Noah Jackson goes 265. His replacement Moore goes 276. And is 6'6". That offensive guard. Harper, first down, Chicago.
Chicago's made a few adjustments. One of them with their intensity. It looks like they're banging on the offensive line now.
John Mendenhall made the tackle. Harper straight ahead.
Harper carried the ball, made it a first down.
Tom Lowe, who did such an outstanding job last year after Danielson was hurt, talking with Gary Danielson over on the sideline.
That's also a close fraternity, isn't it? The quarterbacks, kickers, defensive backs, they all hang together, I guess. Or hang separately, as the saying goes.
Scott and Bashnagel left, Payton right. Walter Payton around the corner. Walter bangs into Detroit territory before Jimmy Allen knocked him out of bounds.
Notice how he carries the ball. He actually likes to grab the ball from the quarterback in both of those strong hands. He doesn't put the elbow up and take it in normal fashion. Watch him grab that thing. Now he's got it, and he's holding it, palming it in that hand.
He has huge hands.
He is strong.
6 rushes, 32 yards for Walter Payton. He's moving up on the all-time career rushing list, and a remarkably short time. The man he'll pass after he gets 100-plus yards will be Larry Zonka. Evans swings it out. Ricky Watts comes up with a catch that looked like it was going to be out of bounds at one time.
I believe either Bubba or Gay got their hand up and deflected that, and somehow Ricky Watts played with it and got it under control like a yo-yo. See if it's 60 that gets across. Big Bubba. Baker jumps. Watch this. He hits the ball, deflects it, and Ricky Watts reacted. Oh, man. Pure instinct.
Talk about your quick adjustments.
Jiggets gives him a good block from that left tackle spot. That's presence of mind.
Ray Oldham finally makes the tackle, number 23. It'll be 2nd and 2. Payton deep in the eye, and now they shift. Harper's with him. Penalty marker down. They go straight ahead to Payton. Walter got enough for the first down, but the penalty would serve the same purpose.
Those 3 linebackers that Maxie Bone has for Detroit. Stan White, Weaver's been around a long time. Good experience there. And, of course, Fantetti, the wild man from Wyoming in the middle. That's going to be one of the real good linebacking cores before they're through.
79 defense. Offside. First down.
William Gay, number 79. A series Thanksgiving Day that began in 1934 at the University of Detroit Stadium, then the Tiger Stadium, Brick Stadium it was known at first, then Tiger Stadium, and finally here to the Silverdome. Scott wide to the left. Evans, look out. A good block by Payton. But the Lions arrive nevertheless.
Bubba Baker thinks he was held by Jiggets. Bubba's been using the hand slap a lot, but it looks to me like it's going to be offensive holding.
It is.
Boy, they came from everywhere. North, south, east, and west. Here they come. The Blue Wave. By the way, Calicut has a sprained knee. May not return, but the sprains part sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
Keep in mind that those 2 fellows on the left side of the Chicago center are not the 2 that they started with. Noah Jackson, replaced by Moore, and Albrecht, replaced by Jiggets.
Theirs have built their team. Jimmy Finks and company really through the draft. They got some real quality.
And now Jackson is back. 2nd down and 17 for the Bears. Dave Williams swings out of the backfield. Evans with time this time, hits Williams. Bounces right off those pads and nothing doing.
Well,
Stan White was close.
He really fired that one. Williams can catch it. He's got great hands, but that young man really came over the top with that one. Stan White, by the way, is a Phi Beta Kappa out of Ohio State. It's nice to be able to tell people across the country that we're not all Cro-Magnon, you know.
Matt Suey now joins Payton in the backfield. 3 wide receivers, Bashnagel, Scott, and Ricky Watts. Again, the Lions put on the heat. And again, it's Baker.
Bubba Baker's third sack, the 5th for Detroit. He went right by Jiggins. It'll be to the left of your screen. They're slipping the back out. He just came right on around the horn. The whistle was being blown to protect the quarterback.
That is Baker's 13th sack this year. Parsons goes in. Ray Williams goes back deep for Detroit, back at his own 10.
That was a large play.
Like the Bears had something going, and Baker stopped it. Parsons. Punt will be handled at the 12-yard line. Ray Williams looking for someplace to go. About the 18-yard line, and a penalty marker goes down. Brian Bashnagel, the first of the Bears down to make that tackle. Clipping.
Makes you start pretty close inside your 10-yard line. It's about the last thing I think Monty Clark wanted at this juncture.
$11:54 left in the third
On the
quarter.
run back, number 25. Clipping. First down.
Slow down there.
10-3. The Lions lead the Bears in the third quarter. Boy, it's nice to be proud of where you work, isn't it? That's on the back of one of our ace cameramen, George Rothweiler. And you saw him on CBS Sports.
He told me that the year I broke into pro ball, he was being born. He really destroyed me yesterday. Oh. Do it.
That is a person,
Or
a Lions
Bigfoot.
fan,
Somebody wanted out of the snow, maybe.
dressed up like a gorilla, asking for Super Bowl tickets year after this, and we'll be here to broadcast from the Silverdome. Dexter Bussey.
The Bears may have had a tougher schedule sometime, but I can't believe when. First they played the Lions, then it was the Eagles, the Cleveland Browns, the Redskins, the Oilers, and the Atlanta Falcons. And could have won most of those games. They even came back and made the Cleveland game close after falling behind.
2nd and 9 for Detroit. Last year they had to win 7 out of their last 8 to make it to the playoffs, which they did and lost to Philadelphia. 2nd and 9 at the 11 for Detroit. Hill in motion. Danielson chased by Page. Throws high. Remarkable effort to get rid of it even.
For a guy that's not supposed to be able to move in the pocket, he's making some pretty drastic quick ones. Page really forces this early, Pat. Ball should probably not have been thrown, but it's tough down there to decide.
Page so very quick still. Can be by you as an offensive guard before you know what's happening. That's what happened then. 11:05 left third quarter. Still 10-3 Detroit. Billy Sims comes out. Should be Dexter Bussey and Horace King, I could guess.
The Lions have fumbled a lot this year. If they're not wanting to do something right now, fumble would be the one they wouldn't want to do.
Only one setback. 3 wide receivers. Dexter Bussey deep. Pass is caught by Scott. Coming across the middle, Walter shied the tackle. What a fine catch by Fred Scott.
From Amherst, he's studying to be a doctor while he's playing professional football, Pat. You're right, this was some catch because it wasn't a pure pass. He had to stop, go up, and take it knowing he was going to get hit. That's a great catch.
Fred Scott's first catch of the day, not James Scott. I guess those are the Bears.
Disguised Bears.
At the 23, first down Detroit. Hill again in motion. Danielson again fades. Scott again. Oh! And he is popped by Gary Finsick just as he makes the catch. And he snaps right back up.
175 pounds, and he comes across the middle 2 plays in a row against a secondary that has a reputation for knocking you cold. Watch Finsick make the contact. And Scott jumped up very quickly and said, I'm all right, but I got the catch and I got the ball.
Pass blocking, and Danielson sets.
Well, he's moving around pretty well in that pocket because Page is getting some penetration on every play. That's some reception.
And he got up just as quickly as he went down. First down, Detroit at the 46. They give to Bussey. Dexter ducks. Jerry Muckenstern, after a couple of yards, takes him backwards.
I believe Billy Sims has carried the ball in this half yet, has he?
No.
It's like sitting on a time bomb.
Now might be the time. 2nd and 8 at the 48.
It's also a good time on Thanksgiving for the people that are maybe not feeling too well or in hospitals or what have you, and are sort of trapped, and the television is maybe their only recreation. We'd sort of like to send some good greetings along to them, huh?
Sure would. And I hope it is a happy Thanksgiving. Bussey again. Bussey close to a first down to the Bear 45, about a yard shy.
Baldwin's having a pretty good blocking day against Hartenstein. And the Penn Stater plays you awfully tough on that line of scrimmage. And let's see if they took Alan Page down inside. Page took the inside, and Hartenstein got straightened up. And Bussey galloped through.
He blocked by Billy Sims. Leading Bussey, Finsick.
Bussey now has 50 yards and 11 carries.
Third about a half yard. Lions on the move, leading 10-3. Robinson, one of the running backs, but that's Dexter Bussey for a first down. Finsick again, the tackler.
And Baldwin again doing a good job blocking on the line of scrimmage. He's the only guy that Hoagland's had for every game this year, left tackle. I've got to think Tim Rooney of the Rooney family that's up here sort of in charge of executive things has really helped Monty Clark and Russ Thomas put together this team, you know. Done a nice job drafting this year in particular.
Those Rooneys who are involved in pro football all seem to do a good job. Danielson saw that he had nothing and just fired high and into the Bear bench over everybody's head, just making sure that the other folks didn't get it.
Alan Page having a disagreement with a couple of Lions on the line of scrimmage and shook a very learned finger at him like that's not in the rule book.
It'll be 2nd and 10 at the 43. Crowd rather quiet at the moment. Settled back to enjoy another half of football. Danielson pursued quickly, set up the screen pass, intended for Horace King. But Danielson was really running for his life, getting away from Hartenstein.
Hartenstein really came that time, and he had company. You've got to realize that Hartenstein is one of the most muscled-up athletes you'll ever see at about 250. Watch the right part. He looped to the inside, and Baldwin didn't even get a glove on him. It's a good idea. Dump the problem to somebody else. The screen did not take place.
He had blockers out in front in good shape. But things just didn't pan out. So it'll be 3rd and 10 now from the 43.
Got some tight end in there at Hill, 81.
As Billy Sims and Horace King in the backfield. Looking deep for Scott. And over his head. Terry Schmidt back there with him.
Boy, he is a good man-to-man cover, Schmidt is. I mean, he's running stride for stride. Watch the cornerback get everything under control. Makes the cut. You can see the safety man sliding inside. Don't need any help under this time. Looking for the ball. It's good coverage.
Spladany back for Detroit now, number 15. Lenny Walter shied back at the 10 for Chicago. Much has happened in the third quarter. Spladany throws. Pass is complete to Bussey. Detroit first down at the 25. put some life into this crowd.
Skladany is 1 for 1 on passes coming in. They worked on this yesterday a long time, about an hour, on fake field goals passes and fake punting passes. It's a good spiral.
And a 19-yard pickup, enough for a Lion first down. Dave Becker.
I didn't think Ohio Staters could throw the ball. Skladany threw this one pretty well. Good play. Boy, that'll pick a team up in a hurry.
And Bussey gets enough for the Lion first down. Now it's Billy Sims behind Dexter Bussey. Sims, first carry, second half. Sims to the 15.
And Hicks had him early, Pat. Big linebacker hit him, and I think Alan Page finally had to make the tackle.
Page and Hartenstein helped out.
Watch Hicks fill this. 54 is right there. He's a good tackler. Sims just walked right through it.
First down.
First down, Detroit, just inside the 15-yard line. 6.5 minutes left to play third quarter. 1st and 10. It's the 13th play of this drive coming up for Detroit. And that's what Sims has done today. A long touchdown run by Billy came on a screen pass. Bussey to the 10. Stopped by Osborne.
Bussey carried the ball. Stopped by Page.
Again, Gary Danielson sort of staying within himself. He went for the long one, figuring that it might be time to catch somebody in a total blitz situation and score, but he's been pretty controlled.
Billy Sims comes out on 2nd and 6. And Rick Kane, I think, replaces him. Yes.
Good little pass receiver, Kane is.
Bussey to the 5. Doug Plank made the tackle.
Bussey. Stopped by Plank.
Here's the call. Again, they put Kane in. You think, well, Billy Sims is out. Pretty good block by Kane. See what happened inside. Amos Fowler goes to the onside. Boy, they did a good job on that offensive right side. Dieterich did a good job, too, on Hampton.
3rd and 1. Bussey, 14 carries, 61 yards. Billy Sims is now back in the game with Dexter Bussey. Sims. It'll be a first down. It'll be 1st and goal, Detroit. Good blocking on the left side by the Detroit offensive line.
Billy Sims explodes. Watch him come off the ball. He just wants short yardage now. Right at Page and Hartenstein. Finley gets most of it. And Plank comes over to make sure. Some charge off that ball. Aldisweiler's doing some job at left tackle.
So is Burton Lawless at left guard. 1st and goal. Rick Kane and Horace King now the running back tandem for Detroit. They lead 10-3 and they're trying to make it bigger. King looked like it was inevitable that he would score and the Bears still knock him back.
Well, I think that he ran into his own man and probably got straightened up by the blocker. Watch the right part here and see if his own man doesn't sort of screen him and throw up the imaginary pane of glass we're always talking about.
That's exactly what happened.
Russ Bollinger in there.
Right.
Now you're playing in the secondary for the Chicago Bears, and bodies are flying. Luckenstern gets there. Boy, that was close.
The Lions call a timeout now. Danielson comes over, shaking his head and wondering what's going on at the moment. What's going on at the moment? The Lions are about to go further ahead. They lead 10-3 right now. Pat Summerall with Tom Brickshire. The Silver Dome in Pontiac, where they sold all the tickets, 80,638. It snowed hard this morning, and still 75,397 in attendance. Have
you ever seen better pictures in your life for a football game?
Nope. It is 2nd and goal at the 1. Sims and Bussey. That's Danielson. And the struggle continues. Danielson tried to score a touchdown.
And there's going to be a problem. There's still 2 people engaged in minor warfare. The 2nd touchdown rushing for Gary Danielson, and he's going to have to get a new valet. Look at this, and he doesn't care.
A 90-yard touchdown drive. They used up 17 plays.
There's Bussey fouled him in to make sure. It wasn't over till the final out, was it?
Not sure it's over yet. Brad Shearer is the one doing the clothing adjustment.
Got a call for emergency 1.
Here is Fensick helped out. Pipple holding. Murray kicking. 17-3, Detroit. Another look at the touchdown.
A safe way because there's no handoff, but you can see there are dangers involved.
The Lions more comfortable now at 17-3 with 3:30 left in the 3rd quarter. Murray kicks off. Dave Williams back deep. Williams, no place to go. The Lions cover it well. Eddie Lewis, the first man down.
Calicut was helped off. He's one of the guys that goes down on the other side to force that runner before he gets behind the wedge. What a job.
So it'll be first down Chicago now at their own 14-yard line with 3:21 left 3rd quarter. Detroit 17. Chicago Bears 3.
Chicago has only run 28 plays. Detroit has run 55 plays.
It's hard to win many games like that. That is Peyton. But you can win games like that. Peyton about 9 yards. Stopped by Jimmy Allen.
Peyton with the ball. Stopped by Williams.
There are 2 or 3 different theories to how to stop Walter Payton. One of them is to string it out, but then he can duck back into a hole and still blast it on you. The other is to go meet it right away and try to take all the blocking in front of him. But the hardest thing of all is finally tackling him when you get him cornered. And you better have help. Look at Allen holding on. And Walter almost gets it out.
The only sure way is not to play. Harper this time. And he's got some room. Roland Harper rolls for another first down. Jimmy Allen again on the tackle.
Like Detroit got the Bears' attention with that last touchdown. They've got to get on the board with 7 and try to get back even. Power play. Man-on-man blocking. This is Roland Harper. When he came back, Walter began to feel better.
And if you block for me, I block for you. And Peyton got a great block on that play. Leading Roland Harper. Peyton 42 yards and 7 carries. Peyton behind Greavy, Sorey, and Harper. Got about 5 more. Ken Fantetti, the first Detroit player to make contact.
When you finally hem him in, he becomes rather strong and large, doesn't he? Picked up, what, 5 yards?
2nd and 5.
Second and 5 at the 40, that's correct. Get lost in quoting all the statistics that apply to Walter Payton. And probably will eventually to Billy Sims. Ricky Watts swings in motion. Payton again. This time, Baker, Mendenhall,
Gay.
That's the best way to get it done. If you can have 3 players meet him, the odds are more even.
You know who his backfield mate was in college? Was Ricky Young, was the fullback. Wilbert Montgomery went there as a freshman and said, I'd like to start you, but I've got a junior fullback named Ricky Young that's in there with Walter right now.
So Wilbert Montgomery went elsewhere to Abilene Christian.
And is some kind of a ball carrier.
Third down now for Chicago. They need 3 for a first. Here's Payton. He'll have the 3+. Payton across the 50. Stopped finally by Mendenhall, but another Bear first down.
Some of the great running backs have been able to turn back into traffic and make it work for them. Walter this time swings around, has a chance to maybe try to get back to the sidelines. Once he gets in here, watch this duck out. Now he says, where is everybody? Let's go back inside, and I'll take him on right here.
And that's a good term to use about his running style, is I'll take him on. Here comes Mendenhall out. That would be the end of the third quarter. On Thanksgiving Day in Detroit, the hosts, the Lions, lead 17-3 over the Chicago Bears. The awesome Jim Brown will be featured in December here on CBS at the half of one of our games with Jack Whitaker, and what a runner he was.
230, and Ray Renfro and Bobby Mitchell had trouble beating him in 30 and 40-yard dashes. He was some runner. That's going to be an interesting piece.
Maybe the best.
I'm afraid I may be in some of those old shots of him going 70 yards or something.
In those days, the limbs weren't quite as wide, and you could at least get out of the picture.
Try to dive under a blocker if you get desperate. Looks like Walter wants to turn this fourth quarter into a duel, that him against the Lions.
Speaking of features, you're going to be on the CBS News Sunday morning.
Charlie Carrault show, huh?
Right. Feature on Mr. Brookshire.
Scary.
Walter Payton again, and breaks into the Lions secondary. Another first down, still going, still fighting inside the 30 to the 28. Mike McCoy finally gets him down, but this is just pure talent, I guess.
And you know, his wife, Connie, they're expecting their first baby momentarily. She's back in Arlington Heights. This is a 19-yarder. Almost goes down, uses the hand for balance. And I can't describe this, and I would hate to try to tackle it.
Big block by Noah Jackson in front of him.
78 yards and 11 carries, and the motor is running. He's hot.
He's just become the 7th player in NFL history to reach 8,000 yards. Bashnagel swings in motion. Roland Harper gets a try. And he spins down to about the 25. They're both inspired at the moment. Fantetti made the tackle.
Harper with the ball, South by 0 point.
Offensive line has got to love to block for Walter, too. Give him one good block, and he'll make you look awful good. He'll have you in a Pro Bowl.
All this drive by Chicago has been done on the ground. 2nd and 6. Harper got 4. They're at the Lion 25 with 13:35 by the time they get operating. Left on the game clock at 17-3. Detroit leading Chicago. Watts to the motion. Payton to the middle. Payton bouncing and squirming down to the 20. Ball comes flying out, but that doesn't matter. Shy of a first down, I believe, but not by much.
Fantetti in the middle. You know, you hit him at the line of scrimmage, the first thing you know, you're working on a 5-yard gain, if you're lucky. The over defense, Mendenhall, they just brush by him. Then Story just takes him out of the play.
Mike McCoy replaces Mendenhall. Payton, after that run, took time to help Mendenhall to his feet. And hustle back to his position in the huddle. There's McCoy.
They call Payton sweetness.
3rd and 1. Harper and Payton, the running backs. Evans going to go for the bunch. May have the bunch. Touchdown, Robert Fisher. And the Bears close the gap. 86-yard drive in 9 plays this time. And Evans, who is known for throwing the ball hard, really lays this one up nicely.
Beautifully. Short yardage, and he does. He just gets it over the outstretched hands. The safety man in there, I believe that was Wayne Smith, the young cornerback. And I wonder if Bud Grant is pulling just a little bit for Chicago for the first time.
I would think so.
Good call and a beautiful throw.
And the touchdown to Robert Fisher, number 85. Backup tight end. Bob Thomas makes it 17-10. We'll return to the Silver Dome after this word from your local station.
Tonight, it's the
Off. Rick Kane, Ray Williams, back deep for the Lions. Rick Kane on the kickoff return, struggling outside the 20 to about the 24 before the Bears take him down.
You might want to push the turkey off the burner a little bit. Just wait. 12 and a half minutes left. Detroit needs a long drive, and they need at least to tack on that three-pointer.
They'll operate from their own 23-yard line, 1st and 10, Detroit. 12 and a half minutes left to play. Mike Hartenstein, Alan Page, Osborne, and Hampton. Now it's Harris. Billy Sims. Ball comes loose. Tom Hicks made the tackle, but Sims had already picked up about 5 yards.
In the huddle, I must have said, Billy, the other guy is getting it hot. We need some help. Watch Sims put it down when the cut is made. Bussey's out in front of him, gets a good block. Tell you, he doesn't waste any time getting through the hole, does he?
Just sort of glides, but glides in a hurry. 2nd and 3, 7 yards for Billy Sims. The 29. Danielson to Bussey. Near a first down.
Keep in mind, this is a very young offensive line. They've been doing an awfully good job. That big bunch of the Bears have been beating on them now for 3 quarters. You can get tired. That Dieterich, number 73. Last year, he was playing against Carolina, Wake Forest, and people like that. This year, he's tangling with the Chicago Bears. That's a big, big jump.
Sims comes out. Rick Kane replaces him on 3rd and 1. They give to Bussey. Bussey will not get the first down. The Bears hit him about 3 times, and Allen Ellis finally took him down.
Boy, what a good tackle by Ellis.
Bussey stopped by Campbell.
Clean, right at the knees, and emphatic. Watch this bounce out. Hartenstein gets doubled and cut off in there. Here's the move by Bussey. Oldham. Let's see who that is, the safety man in there that got a shot at him. I believe it was Walter Scheid that got the first shot.
Right.
Good tackle by Ellis.
And Sladany will have to kick. Walter Scheid now is back to receive this punt. Last time in punt formation, Sladany threw a pass to Bussey to keep a drive alive. Not this time. Walter Scheid, fair catch signal, 32-yard line. The Bears will take over 1st and 10 from there with 10 minutes and 28 seconds left to play in the contest. 35-yard kick by Parsons. And the Chicago Bears, who ran it well the last time they had it, will have another chance. Oh, it's nice to be working on Thanksgiving Day,
But this is the way we work. We stand up for it. I can't wait to get home and get the turkey, right?
I can't wait to see this contest continue.
How about our new boss? Van Gordon Sauter's there. It's nice to have a boss that cares and is coming up to see what we really have to do.
It surely is. He's on the phone, I think, with the studio in New York right now. Or maybe he's checking the airport. I don't know. 1st and 10. The Bears have Harper and Payton. And Vince Evans a quarterback, and Bashnagel goes in motion. Roll. Walter Payton bangs it straight ahead again for about 4 or 5.
Again, I think that Floyd Peters, the defensive line coach for the Lions, he's also worked with young people. Doug English, a Pro Bowler, went off to the North Atlantic to drill for oil, and Woodcock went somewhere. So he's had young people, and if you do a lot of studying with young people, sometimes you can be cut off in the middle late in the game and really get burned, and they got to be careful with Walter.
2nd and 4. Payton got 6. It looked like 2. Their offensive line really going about their job very effectively now. Here's Payton again. He didn't slip down. that might have been all over. It's another Chicago first down as Jimmy Allen had to make the tackle. Robin Earl was out in position to make a block. Payton just slips.
If number 34 goes to the sideline this time, he would strung out a lot of people in his wake. As you'd say, he'd have left the trail. If he'd have gone right outside there, that would have been some kind of a race to the flag.
First down, 46.
Clock running and the Bears moving.
97 yards on 14 carries.
Another one of those 100-yard days for Walter Payton. He already is over 1,000 for this year. He did that on his first carry of the day. He'll try again. Payton to the outside. First down, Chicago. Good block by Robin Earl this time. 100-plus for Payton.
You know, he's not a great runner to the left. That's what they say. He dips in, sets it up, and by gosh, he gets to the outside. Good block by Noah Jackson on the outside.
Right. And by Robin Earl.
He does deliver when you try to make contact, though, doesn't he? He delivers as much as he takes, almost.
12-yard pickup. He's not a good runner to his left, you said?
Well, some people think he likes to run to his right more, but it's a pretty good little tote right there.
Noah Jackson and Reilly Sorey, two offensive guards. And Dan Neal, the Bear center, doing a heck of a job. Bashnagel again is in motion. Again, Payton. And again, about 5. John Mendenhall, number 64, made the tackle on this one.
Watch Sorey to the left and Neal get together. Neal goes on through and takes Fantetti on, but a good play by John Mendenhall. And I believe Stan White gets into the play. They get together, and the center will slip on through now after he sets Mendenhall up. Noah Jackson just goes ahead and sits on Gay.
This now has become the 40th time in his career that Walter Payton has gained over 100 yards. That's the comparison between the two great runners today. This is Roland Harper. He will not get the first down. He gets to about the 35. Dave Purifoy.
Remember earlier when they threw up the statistic of how many games he started in a row? What was it, 76?
Payton?
Yes.
I'm really not sure, but I know it's
You said something about durability, but...
remarkable for a running back.
Yeah, it's not like he goes out and plays safety or something. He's having people chase him and bang him on most of the plays.
Dave Williams has entered the game with Roland Harper now, and Payton gets a rest. Bashnagel right. Scott left. Evans to throw. Does. Scott can't hang it. Jimmy Allen back there with him.
Some football play by Jimmy Allen. He and Hunter and Bubba have a song out called Another One Bites the Dust. They're talking about wins in the column, heading for a playoff maybe. This is some defensive play. The ball is almost accepted. And he runs it right out of bounds, and the ball goes too.
So Bob Parsons comes in to punt for the Bears, perhaps. There is a possibility he might do something strange. Parsons with a good arm throw. Incomplete. Hunter on the defense.
Gay was the one that put the heat on that made Parsons throw it. Now here's a former quarterback from Penn State. He gets the flea flicker out of the punt formation and really throws a true shot. It's a good pass.
It really does. So both Spadani and Parsons have passed today. 17 for 64. For about 8. Brad Shearer was the Bear tackler, but Sims behind, good blocking.
Dave Hill got a heck of a block, number 81. Took Hampton and just ran him off the line of scrimmage and then cut him. Right part of your screen. Good block by Hill, a big tight end.
Excellent. How about Bussey?
Oh, they got outside in a hurry. As soon as they got that key block at the point of attack, they made a move.
Clock still going with that much time left. Just less than 5, 2nd and 2. Sims and Bussey. And it's Dexter's turn. Shy of a first down as Muckensturm shuts it off.
Here's the big call of the game now. No matter who you're rooting for, with 4:39 on the clock and ticking down, here's your third down conversion you really need on offense, and you don't need on defense.
Dexter Bussey's had a good day as well as Billy Sims. Sims is 18 carries, 71 yards. Bussey 17 times for 64 yards. Sims, of course, had the long touchdown run with a screen pass. Danielson calls on third down. And Sims gets the call. He's close. Brad Scherer again made the tackle.
You know, for a guy, it looks like he runs upright. He gets pretty low when he's just going for short yardage on first down, huh? Watch how low number 20 gets. You're right behind him from the eye. He just puts it down and digs it.
Walter Scheid was the first Bear to make contact. They're measuring. It's short of a first down. Spladany started out. You saw how much they need. Danielson.
Short yardage defense. You can see they're up on the line of scrimmage. Walter Scheid penetrated and looked like he was being gored by a bull.
Now the decision has been made. For a moment it appeared that they might try to go for it, and then Monty Clark decided it's time for Spladany. Walter Scheid back deep now to receive this punt.
He's had 13 inside the 20-yard line. If he ever nailed one inside the 20, this would be a good time. Well, the kicking has been superb today, hasn't it?
And there have been no fumbles. And again, it's superb. Spladany aiming to his left, gets it out of bounds at about the 5.5-yard line. A 37-yard punt, but that doesn't tell the story. Under extreme pressure. And you know, kickers are all right, aren't they? Everybody says they want to be a kicker until Sunday, huh? Oh, I'm glad to hear you say that. 17-10, Detroit over Chicago. .337 left to play. Dave Purifoy over on the sideline. Big Mike McCoy is in there, you know it. Mike was with the Giants the last time we saw him, played with Green Bay for years. So did Purifoy. They better dig in. It's going to be some 3.5 minutes. Out in action. And the Bears will operate from their own just outside the 5-yard line. Chicago with all 3 timeouts left. Just over 3.5 minutes left to play. And Detroit leading 17-10. Going to throw the option pass. And does for Bashnagel. Incomplete. Jimmy Hunter was right there. Peyton threw twice last week against Atlanta, and he didn't get to see the end of the game, so he can pump it up. Running to the left, throwing it. That's a little hard for even a great athlete like Walter. Amazing thing about him, not only can he throw it, you know he's a great runner, he's also their backup punter and backup place kicker. Can do anything, huh? Right. He's also a very wealthy person. I would imagine he's the highest paid player in football right now, wouldn't you think? He'd be close to it. Clock stopped at 3:30. 17-10 Detroit. Evans this time with time. Scott gets him out of the hole with that pass completion from Vince Evans. And Bubba Baker knocked the quarterback down. You've got to give Evans a lot of credit. The pocket, and I mean the pocket in this case was the end zone. He'll back right into it and set up. He throws it, and Bubba takes him down after the throw, and Evans did not see the very fine catch. 15-yard pickup. Gay was also close. Now that's Courage. Number two like that are moving at you. To Payton. Payton is really cut down this time, following the block by Harper.
It's either Gay or Fantetti in the middle.
Fantetti and Gay both involved.
2.5 minutes left.
Fantetti's 57.
Comes out of Wyoming. They say he's going to be like Joe Schmidt and Mike Lucci and all the great linebackers that have played in this city.
Just a couple on that carry by Payton.
Bears have 3 timeouts left, and they'll get the clock stopped at 2 minutes.
You have to start thinking about the possibility of overtime. Evans drops on second down. Protection adequate this time. Again, it's complete to James Scott. Another Bear first down. And Evans again got hit by Baker, but hung in there.
Jimmy Hunter was there, but late. This is a turn in. It's a deep hook pattern. He's standing right in there. Yeah, I'm telling you, Evans has been down a lot, and he's completing the passes, but he's taking some beating right now.
That's the 4th catch for Scott. And a 2-minute notification will be given to both coaches now. The Bears, with all 3 of their timeouts left, trailing by 7. Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time here on CBS. The World Aerobatics Championship on the Sports Spectacular.
You tell me that's beautiful photography, huh?
I hear it's spectacular. And a battle of the NFL cheerleaders in kayak racing.
From Atlantic City, right in the ocean.
It's a day like all days, except you were there, right?
Oh, I certainly was.
At the 41-yard line.
5 defensive backs in for Detroit.
3 wide receivers in for Chicago. They fake a blitz. Evans hanging in the pocket. Hit Bashnagel incomplete.
Jimmy Allen makes some play. You know how easy it is to get a flag to play in the secondary. Here comes the rush. They're stunning up front. Gay twisted with Mendenhall. Picked up pretty well. This ball's thrown well. This is just great defensive play. Stripped.
Evans now 9 of 17. Clock stock 1:54. 17-10. Detroit in first place in the NFC Central. The Bears on a lot of tough losses. 4-8, but not out of it.
You draw with Walter Payton?
It's not a bad thought. Dave Williams is back there with him. Good pass receiver. There's the draw with Walter Payton. And that's Walter Payton.
Oh.
Just shy of the first down by about a yard. Clock still running. Payton almost broke another one.
Jimmy Hunter had to make a heck of a tackle. Watch the moves here. Watch this move. And this move. Good tackle.
Desperation. 3rd. The yard they need. Clock running. They give to Dave Williams. That's a little bit of a surprise. He gets out of bounds. And gets the Bear first down. Hunter took him out of bounds.
And 3 timeouts are still in that Chicago playbook.
I don't understand why the clock didn't stop them. Do you?
Well, they should have asked for a measurement, I guess, but it was by too much of a margin.
Out of bounds he went, but they rule that the clock should still be running. Now they stop the clock.
Oh.
And I'm not sure why.
They ran off a lot of time. They may have to take the clock
sure
back
did.
to 1:05. Because field goals don't mean much.
Now the conference is over, whatever it was about. And now they say start it again. Payton 123 yards and 18 carries now. 50 seconds left on the clock. Bears lead a touchdown. Scott again is open. Scott struggling to get out of bounds, but a Bear first down at the 32-yard line. James Hunter, the tackler.
Burns one, the timeout.
Yep.
This is a deep hook pattern. The good speed, drive you off, gets past the linebacker. No longer in play. White's never there. It moves to the inside. Play worked against Atlanta, too. It's worked well today.
Scott has caught 5 passes. Clutch catches all of them. Bear first down. They have 2 timeouts left. 17-10. Detroit leads Chicago. The Bears with a first down at the Detroit 33-yard line. 2 timeouts left, trailing by a touchdown.
And the young Lions are stunting on every play right now. They're twisting and grabbing people.
John Mendenhall has got a spectacular day. Dave Williams in the backfield with Peyton. Evans with his decision made as to what he wants to do. Drops. Lions blitz. Evans throws for Scott. Batted away at the last second. Ray Oldham got the hand up. Scott was loose.
He's in for the nickel defense, the undercover, but what a great play. Peyton picked up the blitz, helped on the blocking. Ball is thrown perfectly. Oldham's been with Baltimore, with Pittsburgh, and experience paid off. What a great play. Ball was on target, except the 23 was there.
With that one hand up, just at the perfect time. 34 seconds remaining. 17-10. Matsui comes in. For the Bears, Peyton remains. Scott comes right this time. Bashnagel to the left with Ricky Watts. Evans fire. Has Scott. Another first down, Chicago inside the 15. And they'll have to call another timeout, and they do, with 27 seconds remaining.
All right, same pattern you've seen to the left, this one to the right. Again, good blocking. They brought in Stewie from Penn State just to double up and make sure Bubba Baker didn't get in. They doubled, did the job. Boy, the ball was thrown hot and a great catch. That's Walt Williams, I think, making the play on it. They've got the Detroit team stunning and blitzing, but they're picking it up and they're handling them right now. This ball's thrown hard and hot.
Scott has caught 6 passes, picked up 106 yards. And every one of those passes just about have been tough catches. Bears now have 1 timeout left. Peyton and Reedy Sorey out on the field on their knees, sort of collecting thoughts. Monty Clark, maybe he'd like to be on his knees.
That's Floyd Peters. There's Floyd Peters, the big fellow with the headset on that's behind Maxie Bond and Monty Clark. Boy, they're concerned, a turnaround, not only this game, but in their whole lives. Last year they win 2. This year they're 7-5 and trying to get number 8.
Ball just inside the 15-yard line. In fair possession, 27 seconds left to play.
Is that
and the Bears with 1 timeout left.
Is that Evans some tough cookie? Boy, he's some athlete.
Don't forget James Scott. Catches he has made. And the effort also for Walter Payton. There's 1 more timeout. First down. Just inside the 15. Evans drops. And Evans will take off. Evans inside the 5 to about the 3. 17 seconds. Clock still running with 16 seconds left to play. And Chicago uses their last timeout, and Evans might be shaken.
He's going to get back up. But he's a little over 200 pounds and doesn't look it. In a 3-piece suit, he looks like he's 165. What a run and what a scramble. Once he saw they had Walter Payton covered over the middle, he puts it away. Walter had solo coverage. He looks for him. All right, it's done. Time to move. Traveling music.
It'll be 1st and goal at the 4 for the Bears as Evans limps over to the sideline with 16 seconds remaining. No timeouts remaining. If we do go into overtime, if the Bears do score and make the extra point, there'll be a 3-minute break. They'll flip the coin, and it's just like starting another game over again.
Would you like to have 6-round draft choices like Vince Evans playing for you out of SC?
Tonight on CBS, the Waltons, Knots Landing, and Linda in Wonderland.
That, of course, is our Alice Linda, right?
Linda Lavin.
Guarantee you I'm going to get somewhere in time to see that.
That's a good idea.
Even if I have to dig out of the snow outside.
Sunday's games here on CBS. St. Louis against the Giants in New York. Meadowlands. Washington, Atlanta. Minnesota against New Orleans. Very important game to the Vikings.
And Dick Stanfield's a new coach down there, and he may have him turned in for a big game.
All those games looking good together on CBS. First and goal from the 4. 16 seconds left to play. No timeouts left for the Bears. They trail by 7. Walter Payton and Roland Harper, the 2 running backs. Evans looking for some place to go, firing high over the head of James Scott. And Evans again took a shot, this time from Mike McCoy. James Hunter was the Lion defender, and Scott might have been open if Evans had had time.
Hunter has 6 interceptions already. A sidearm shot, I think, thrown away. But Hunter almost got a hand on it. Robin Earl brought that play in, the big tight end. Wonder what George Halas is doing right now.
Watching this game.
Papa Bear, I bet you, is walking around.
They started this game from the 6-yard line, and this play coming up will be the 13th in this drive. 11 seconds left to play. Second and goal from the 4. Vince Evans, the pressure on him. Looks, ball up in the air, deflected. Looking for Bashnagel. It'll be third down with 6 seconds left.
I believe Gay was the one that spiked it. The young converted tight end to defensive lineman. Here he comes, right in the middle of your screen. Sorey's working on him. Picked up now by Noah Jackson and still got a hand on it.
Hit Sorey in the head.
That's what deflected the ball.
Watch 69. Right there.
I'm wondering, you wouldn't run Walter Payton when you had the time?
Can't stop the clock again.
You don't have to with him running with the football.
I think with 6 seconds left to go, Evans will drop again. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go. Evans will go and will score. 17-16. Get a later flight if Bob Thomas is accurate with this extra point.
He didn't drop too far, did he? As soon as, Pat, like you said, he put it away and put it right down into the end zone. Now, he's been up and down about 25 times like Howdy Doody.
He scored with no time left on the clock. Vince Evans.
Of course, the last play continues, but this is some last play of regular time. He doesn't fool around too much looking for anybody, does he? Okay, it's done.
And now, Bashnagel holding. Bob Thomas kicking. Extra point is good, and we will go to overtime. It is just like starting a new game as we swing into overtime at the Silverdome. They'll take a 3-minute break. They'll flip the coin. Baker limping off. Another injured Lion on the play. They'll flip the coin, and we'll start another contest.
See the stunning by the Detroit team on the offensive line, or the defensive line of scrimmage? I don't think there was much doubt. Somebody had to carry it into the end zone.
I guess that's a cramp or a pulled hamstring, one of the two. Chicago's 2 scoring drives in the 4th quarter. One of them was 86 yards, and the other one was 94 yards. And it's 17 all. Danielson and Scott. Stan White.
Parsons and Harper.
Schmidt. The captains come out. They'll flip the coin. In 3 minutes from now, we'll start to play again. We'll go one extra quarter.
Captains, the coin toss. Call heads or tails, please. Tails. Tails is called. You've got the toss.
We'll kick that way,
The Bears will get it. That's Wayne Smith, who was the injured Lion on that extra point. That tied it. There have been 5 overtimes in the NFL this year. This makes number 6, and this is the first one that there has ever been in this stadium.
Each team will have 2 timeouts, and you're sort of playing for a field goal. By the way, Peyton is 123 on 18, and Sims is 72 yards on 19. Walter had 13 yards at halftime.
Vince Evans with the touchdown that tied it with no time left on the clock. Murray's kick, fielded by Williams at the 5. Williams breaks out of the pack. Dave Williams to the 30. Touchdown, Chicago. They win it on the kickoff after overtime.
That's his first touchdown this year. He used to be a sprinter at Colorado. He ran a 9.600 once. But that is the darndest bunch of bears that you'll see this side of Yellowstone Park.
If he comes out of that alive, he'll be lucky.
What a finish. What a kickoff return right up the middle and cut it out of there.
95 yards by Dave Williams on the overtime kickoff. You say he used to be a sprinter? He still is. Look at this.
Now 210 pounds, a good pass receiver. He's been averaging over 22 yards a kickoff return, but this one's going to rank with his all-timer. That ball will probably go on a mantelpiece somewhere.
His average is a little bit better now. The Bears get 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter of regulation time. They score that touchdown with no time left on the clock. They win the coin toss. That might have been just as big as the kickoff return.
Oh, what a play, but you can't pick out a star. Is it Peyton? Is it Vince Evans? Is it Sims for his great screen earlier?
How about Scott?
How about the spoiler role? There's nothing like it, right? You come in, you're not supposed to be able to play anybody, but they've played everybody tough.
It is unreal. The Bears improved their record.
Is that a great shot?
And they are not out of that playoff picture yet. And, of course, neither is Detroit.
It's not too long a flight.
Irv Cross has the guy who's become an instant celebrity in Chicago. Irv, it's yours.
Got him? All right, I've got him right here, the man of the hour, Dave Williams, a speedster out of Colorado. In overtime, you go coast to coast in the kickoff. Dave, what's your reaction?
It's great. Calm down, relax. I'm telling you, we needed it bad. We were due for a win. We just had a good break on return. Got a chance to run, just running all the way.
What was the feeling of the ball club when you were entering the last couple of minutes of regular play?
We knew we had to win it. We had to win it somehow. But in the past, we've been down, and everything's been going against us, and we finally got the breaks we needed.
A break indeed. The hero of the day in overtime. The opening kickoff goes coast to coast. Dave Williams pulls it out for the Chicago Bears.
Well, thank you, Irv. He did sound like he might have been a little bit out of breath. But what a finish to a Thanksgiving Day game, huh?
That might be excitement. That might be excitement, you know?
That's terrific. Here again is Dave Williams as you look at the people who are responsible for our broadcast other than us. Chuck Milton, Bob Stinner, our producer, Sandy Grossman, and what great pictures, as you said before, we've had all day. And the rest of our crew, who are about the most dedicated people that you'll ever deal with.
Sort of nice to bring people something on this holiday time, a very thoughtful time that means something.
You know, I really don't know, but I can't remember that that has ever happened before, when the opening kickoff in overtime is returned for a touchdown.
I'm worn out.
I'll be ready for some turkey, I think, when we get back home.
Okay, let's stop.
You have a good Thanksgiving.
You too, Patrick.
Now, for Tom Brookshire, Pat Summerall, let's go to New York now for the NFL Today.
All right, thank you very much, Pat Summerall and Tom Brookshire. First break the Chi Bears have had all season long. You should have seen my buddy the Greek. Were you with us at halftime? He says, we're going overtime. Jimmy, I thought you were going to jump right out there and hug Vince Evans when he ran in. Now, what does this do to the NFC Central? As you know, coming into the game, the Detroit Lions were ahead by a game. Now, Minnesota has a chance to tie them if they can beat New Orleans. Jimmy, you've been looking at the schedule.
Because I'll tell you what happens here, which makes it very good for Minnesota. In the division, which is the first break, Detroit is 3-3 now, and Minnesota is 4 victories and 3 losses. which gives them, in case Detroit and Minnesota finish in a tie, would give Minnesota the division title.
Of course, the other thing, though, is, Jimmy, Detroit's only got one road game. They go into St. Louis. The other two are at home with Kansas City, Green Bay, or is it Tampa Bay, Green Bay?
That's true, but here's the whole thing. That's at Tampa Bay with Green Bay. And Minnesota goes to Cleveland and at Houston. It's tough.
It really is. All right, the NFL Today continues on CBS in just a moment. The Chicago Bears are still alive, as are all the teams in the NFC Central. Don't overlook Green Bay. It was a historical moment, the first time ever in overtime at the National Football League that the kickoff was returned for a touchdown. Detroit turned it loose to Dave Williams of the Chicago Bears in the 5, and he simply did the rest. He found a hole, then cut to the sideline, and it became a foot race. And Williams beat back 4 Lions, and Chicago had down Detroit 23-17. And we certainly hope that you've enjoyed this game brought to you this afternoon by CBS Sports. And, of course, don't forget, full schedule of games coming up Sunday. Have a nice Thanksgiving, everybody. For Jimmy the Greek, I'm Brent Musburger saying so long from New York.
The NFL on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports. If you're on welfare and want to get off, or if you're not on welfare and wonder why some